All right, everybody, welcome in. This is my how to play video for Don't Mess with Cthulhu. Now, this is specifically for how to play Don't Mess with Cthulhu on my website, glentovergames.co.uk. If you're looking for a how to play guide for this Don't Mess with Cthulhu, the tabletop version, then there's a link here right now for you to follow to go and watch that. It's also a great video, but also feel free to stick around. The games are very similar. This has a slight variation to make it easier for the web, but really they're the same game, and you're welcome to use this website to play whenever you want. So Don't Mess with Cthulhu can be played from anywhere between 3 and 10 players. Personally, my experience of it would be between 4 and 6, maybe 7 is a good number. When you start to get higher, it can go on a bit longer. And the 3-player game is a variant that I'll cover later. The game does accommodate that, and so it's here in the site. The rules allow for it, and if you have a bigger group, then you're welcome to do it with that many players. But you know, it's probably just best with around 4 to 6. Now, I have a game set up already because I'm making this video by myself, and because the games use your browser to remember your name and your color settings. I actually have some fake friends with me today. We have Fox, who is running their game on Firefox. We have The Edge, who's using Microsoft Edge, and we have Opera, who is using Opera. So Glentifer, I'm in Chrome, and I'm going to try and join that game now that's been set up by Fox. So as we just saw briefly, their room code is Y57X5. And that should bring us into the game with them. Here we are. So Glenn for me has joined this game, and we're told that we're waiting for the game to start. And while we're here, we can just have a quick look at the how to play guide if you want to know, and open up the how to play or objective of the game. So when you play this game, you're going to be handed out a role. So as we start, you're going to become either an investigator or you're going to become a cultist, and you're going to have different objectives based on that. If you're an investigator, that's kind of what you're expecting everyone to be, and that's what you want to pretend to be, even if you are a cultist. And you're trying to prevent the cultists from summoning Cthulhu. And the cultists, they've already started their ritual. They've begun summoning Cthulhu, and if the investigators don't prevent that in time, Cthulhu will be summoned. However, trying to stop them is quite perilous, and they may inadvertently trigger Cthulhu being summoned earlier than they were expecting during the course of the game. So how does that work? Let's go over to Fox, and we'll start up the game here. Fox, as the admin, can click start, and when they start the game, the secret information will be dealt, and we'll have a hand of cards each, and we'll have a secret role. So Fox is an investigator, and let's just have a look through. We shouldn't really know who's who, but let's have a look and see what's happened. The Edge is also investigator. Opera is a cultist, and I'm also a cultist. So we have a game here where we've got 2 cultists and 2 investigators. If we look at this deck composition here, we can see that for a 4-player game, there may be 1 or 2 cultists in the deck as well. There's 15 of these fruitless cards. There's 4 of either this Elder Sign or this Necronomicon, and there's 1 Cthulhu card. And what we need to do during the course of the game as an investigator is to find these Elder Signs. Finding all of the Elder Signs will prevent Cthulhu from being summoned. There's always the same amount of Elder Signs as there are players, so if we look here, we can see there's 4 Elder Signs. The Necronomicon is a special kind of Elder Sign. I'll talk about those rules in a little while. So if we have a look through, we can see the Opera has been handed Cthulhu, an Elder Sign, and the Necronomicon, which is quite a powerful hand for them to have at the start of the game. Poor me, I have nothing. An Edge has, again, all nothing. So there's quite a heavy weighting towards 2 of our players here at the start. But what's going to happen is, if you can see here, Glenta for me has been handed the first active player, and if we pop over to look at me here, you can see that I have the ability to pick a player to investigate. So what I need to do And what everyone needs to do right now is communicate which cards we have in our hands, and we need to talk about who we think we should pick based on that. Now, I'm going to be here pretending that I'm an investigator. I don't want them to know that I'm a cultist, because if they know I'm a cultist, they're going to stop trusting me. They're going to stop handing me the power to pick. Because what will happen is when I choose somebody, I will hand that power to choose somebody else over to the person that I pick as well. So let's say Foxy has managed to convince me that because they have 2 elder signs, I should pick them. And we all agree that makes sense. Obviously, I get to make the final decision on that. People might be telling me to do various things, but I know what my objective is. And without giving myself away, I may choose to pick somebody else. But right now, at the start of the game, I probably want to fly under the radar. So I'm going to go, okay, right, let's go with Fox. Fox has now gained the ability to choose a player, but also one of the cards from their hand has been picked, and that was random, and has been placed down here in this game progress area. And you can see from our event log, Glendifer investigated Fox and found Fruitless. Fruitless meaning I haven't found anything. And this is how the game progression works. The cult is trying to remain hidden. The investigator is trying to find the elder signs. And we play through a maximum of 4 rounds. One round will be a pick for the number of players in the game. So what I mean by that is there's 4 players in the game. There'll be 4 picks before the end of a round. And I can just walk you through that right now and show you that if Fox chooses, who had nothing, me. If Fox chooses me, there's no risk of finding anything here. They find nothing. Let's go back over to me, and I choose to pick Fox, hoping, there we go, we've pulled an elder sign out. And you can see now Fox has 3 cards in their hand. The edge still 5, Opera still 5, and I've got 4. And if we go over to Fox, Fox having one of their elder signs chosen has now only got 1 elder sign in their hand. We can see the game progress here is showing us that we've found 1 out of 4 elder signs, so we know there's 4 to find. We can see we're still in round 1, and we're now on the 4th action of the round. Just to close out the round, Fox is going to send over the active player to Opera, and the round ends. So at the start of round 2, and as Opera was left as the active player at the end of round 1, they remain with that power. They have the ability to pick and investigate a player now. You can see from our elder signs found, we've found 2, and we have these 4 cards chosen for round 1 because there were 4 players in the game. You can see from our event log, round 2 has started, and we can see that Opera here, as a cultist, is sitting on the Cthulhu card now. Opera is going to want people to be picking them at this point. So Opera is going to claim they've got an elder sign. And this is where the lying and the social deduction element of the game comes in, trying to keep track of what you've told people, what people have said in previous rounds, and try to work out who is on your team and who isn't on your team. And here's the thing, Opera and I, even though we're both cultists, are not going to know that we're on the same team. Now, in my hand, I've got the Elder Sign and the Necronomicon, both of which are the 2 Elder Signs that the rest of the players are trying to find. So if we go and look at Edge, they've got nothing. And if we go and look at Fox, they also have nothing. I mean, the Fruitless cards are effectively nothing. So with Opera claiming they have an Elder Sign, I'm able to adjust that truth a little bit, or back that truth up a little bit by just saying, well, I've only got 1 elder sign too. It's a risk because if somebody chooses me now and they pull out a Necronomicon and not an elder sign, that's going to be a giveaway or an indication that maybe I wasn't telling the truth. So I'll just say, yeah, I've got 1. I'll just be vague. So whichever one comes out now, I can say, yeah, I had the Necronomicon, but it counts as an elder sign, right? It's just a little bluff, or just trying to hide the fact that I've actually got both. But I feel like, from my point of view now, I'm fairly sure that Opera is on my side, because I've got both elder signs and Opera is saying they've got an elder sign. They're obviously lying, and the only reason really that they might be trying to lie and say they've got an elder sign is if they've got Cthulhu. So that's good for me. So I'm going to say, okay, great, I have an elder sign. And Opera, hearing that the other two players are saying they've got nothing, are really left with no choice but to go, okay, well, Glenn, I'm coming to you, so they're going to come and pick me. And they find nothing, which to them is probably a relief. That's what they wanted. And they're saying they've got an elder sign. So, what's probably going to happen now is I'm going to go back to Opera and I'm going to be trying to find Cthulhu because I'm fairly sure they've got Cthulhu. Glentifer is going back to Opera and they straight away randomly managed to choose the Cthulhu. I haven't actually scripted this tutorial, so genuinely anything could happen there. But that's good. What that means is you can see here the cultists win because Cthulhu has been found. That means that they were summoned early. Now, had we stepped through 4 rounds here and we hadn't found all the elder signs, Cthulhu still would have been summoned and the cultists still would have won. The only way for the investigators to win is for them to pull all of those elder signs out of the hands of the other players within that 4-round limit. But there's always the risk that they might early summon Cthulhu by hitting Cthulhu. So yeah, that's what's happened here. The Cthulhu card has been found, Opera and I played a smashing game as cultists right there, and we've nailed it. We've won the game. However, it doesn't end there necessarily for you if you want to continue playing, and I would encourage it. The mechanic that allows you to continue and play multiple games is this thing here called exposure, and the losers of a game will get one of these exposures. And the more rounds you play, the more exposure builds up. As soon as a player hits 3 exposure, that will end what I call a session. And what will happen if we go over to Fox right now, you'll see that Fox is able to start another game, or they're able to reset the session. And resetting a session will blank everyone's exposure out and just let you go again, but it will also open this room up. Right now the room's locked, no one can join us. If we reset a session, people can come in and we can carry on playing with more people in the game. This brings me on to what is the Necronomicon. So Necronomicons are another way that the investigators can prevent Cthulhu summoning, as well as the elder signs, and sometimes there aren't enough elder signs around, so they need to use a Necronomicon as well. However, the Necronomicon is dangerous, and what that means is that until at least 1 elder sign has been found, the Necronomicon is going to instantly summon Cthulhu, just like picking the Cthulhu card would. Now, earlier in the video I mentioned that there was a slight difference to the rules if you're using 3 players, so I've just set up a quick 3-player game here to show you what I meant by that. So we'll jump in and everything's the same. Some players have been dealt out a cultist and some have been dealt out an investigator. But what happens is that in a 3-player game, it's completely possible that there are no cultists. So you can see here there are either 0, 1 or 2 cultists in the game. Clearly here Fox has been dealt a cultist card, but with 3 players, it's totally possible that everybody's an investigator. And in that situation, what that means is that you just have to work together to find the elder signs, and you all win together. And if the cultists win and Cthulhu is summoned, even though none of the players are cultists, they still count as a cultist win and you still all get exposure for it. So what that kind of means is that you're playing a game where you might all be on the same side, but you still don't know. And actually, it's quite varied because, on the other hand, you could actually be an investigator up against 2 cultists. Just one more thing before you go. Just want to say thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for trying out these games. And if you can, and if you want to help to keep this site running, and if you'd like to see maybe some more games in the future, I'd really, really appreciate it if you would buy me a coffee. I'm doing that because there should be a link appearing up here. And also, you can follow that link from the bottom of the page too. So, if you start to play them and you get into them and you're really enjoying them and you think, hey, I want to buy this guy a coffee, you can follow the link that's always haunting you down at the bottom of the page. But yeah, guys, whether you do or you don't, it's really exciting to me to think that there are people that are coming together to play these games that I love, and I'm just pleased to be able to bring them to you in this format. So just keep being awesome. Thank you.